The firm started in Edmonton in 1959 when my dad opened his very first law practice.
I had articled with the firm. It was Dean Aykroyd at that time. I had been with them for 5 years, and I felt I wanted to be out on my own. And one of the other chaps also felt the same way, and so we started up, was under Prowse and Downey. He left in about 2 years because he found he didn't like the practice of law. And the student that I had then joined me, and that was Bill Weiss, and he joined as a partner, and we were in partnership for something like 10 years. And I wanted to expand the firm, and Bill he was doing a lot of development work, like 7-Eleven type stores and gas stations. And I was not that interested in that, so we split up. And that's when I got to, I said, Ron had been a student away, and then I got hold of him, and that's when we started out the Prowse and Chowne firm.
I articled with John Prowse on the south side. And after articles, I spread my wings and was out on my own for a year. I was having lunch one day with John, and he said, why don't you come back? There was another partner in the firm at that time who didn't want to grow. John and I knew that it was not good for our business not to grow, so we wanted to go out and build a firm so that we could do what we wanted to do in the long run. And on April the 15th of 1977, we cracked open the doors in the new store.
Ron was doing mostly real estate type of work. I was what you would call the barrister in the firm.
As time went by, it became clear that John was the litigator. Somebody had to take care of solicitors' work, and that was me. And I quite enjoyed that part of the practice.
Shortly after that, Cameron and Don Mallon joined the firm also.
I was the third person in, so it was my dad, John Prowse, and Ron Chowne. The firm actually began as Prowse Chowne April the 15th of 1977, and I joined the firm on June the 1st of 1977. I suspect it was that I just wanted to be like my dad.
I was in pre-med. I had no interest in entering into law. I had no idea what lawyers did. But my girlfriend's father happened to be John Prowse, and he told wonderful stories and made the practice of law sound tremendously interesting. And so I made the switch, and I have no regrets either marrying his daughter or going into the practice of law. And I was very fortunate that he decided to bring me into the firm as well.
Now, Don started out, we opened an office in Sherwood Park, and he was out here for a couple of years, and Cameron was with the firm in Edmonton. And we were just practicing general law.
We had a very general practice then. We did literally everything that there was to do. We did criminal law, we did real estate, we did commercial transactions, we did family law. And it was a really interesting time because every file was different and there was a lot of work to be done.
Early days, well, in the first week that I was here, John Prowse picked me up and said, we're going to Red Deer to deal with some expropriation clients. That was my first introduction to expropriation. It's a practice that I've taken on and developed and specialized in, and I owe that very much to John Prowse because we've been doing it and we do more of it than anybody else in the province.
My first year, the summer of 1981, I was articling, and I showed up at the firm in one of only 2 suits that I owned at that time, and within the first day, John said, don't come back wearing that suit. We're going out to see clients out in the country. That'll just turn them off. You show up here tomorrow with a check shirt, cowboy boots, and blue jeans. And for half the summer I wore that, and we drove around. the western part of Alberta, feeding cheesies to John Prowse as we went from farm to farm to do the firm's initial expropriation work.
We had a vision that to be successful in this marketplace, we'd have to do a number of things, but we'd have to be good at all of those things. And it was clear that we weren't going to do, everybody wasn't going to carry on a meatball practice anymore.
We no longer do criminal law, for example. We decided quite a number of years, about 25 years ago now, that we weren't going to do family law anymore. And we began to focus more and more on business.
And so as time went by, we would find areas of the law that we wanted to pursue and people who were interested in pursuing them.
My interest in Prowse Chowne began, one of my partners, currently Bob Joseph here, was a classmate of mine, and I was sending him all of the litigation work that I was doing at the time, being a solicitor. And Bob reached out saying, you know, come have a chat. We have some great senior solicitors here, Ron Chowne, Gary Scher, John Williams. Come have a chat and see if there's a role for you here. So that's how I ended up coming over. Had a few intro meetings, had some lunches, and it was the mentorship of those individuals that attracted me. It really was just the level of work they were doing and the individuals that were doing it. When I came over, I took a decrease in pay to get that opportunity. It was just something that seemed like the right opportunity to seize.
They laid the foundation for a culture where everyone got along, where everyone respected each other. There was a bit of a familial type of atmosphere when I first joined the firm. They laid the groundwork for being civil and focusing on the benefits for the firm as opposed to themselves individually, and that's pretty much carried forward from that point.
You know, what I like to think is that the number one quality of the people that we hire is that their moral compass is in the right direction. And it's again something that John Prowse and Ron Chowne have instilled in us.
When I first started, the thing that was really drilled into me was the importance of ethical practice and the importance of treating people the way that you would like to be treated.
The firm, like the feel was just it was friendly, it was welcoming, it was inclusive. There's a humor, there was just enjoying what you do and being part of something, everybody having sort of that same goal, that same outlook to move forward and support each other. So that sort of family type culture, but having the resources of, and the experience and knowledge of a large firm was what attracted me.
There was a lot of collegiality, particularly with John Prowse and Ron Chowne.
To me, they were mentors and teachers. They were both terrific at both roles, if you will, but very different people. John was this big guy, roughly like a John Wayne, if you can imagine, kind of gruff around the outside. And for the first few months, I was kind of scared of him. Ron was very different, a lot more gentle, more of a Socratic teacher, a helper, whatever. And between the two of them, really a super great article in the first couple of years of my time at the firm. And from that point, they really became more friends and later in life partners than teachers and mentors, although that still continued to the day that they left the firm.
Ron's door was always open, right? So the ability to come in there and to just pick his brain. I mean, the man knows so much and he's seen so much, and he'd always be like, well, what do you think? Like, he would sort of turn it back, but he was truly interested. It wasn't just a, what do you think? He wanted to know what you thought. He wasn't afraid to hear your ideas, and perhaps they might be better than his. He was always welcoming that, right?
1995, my dad retired, and the firm has grown dramatically since then. And although it always had a family feel for me, the firm was much more than just a family enterprise.
Change is a daily event in the practice of law. Laws change, procedures change. Courts come out with new decisions as to how things work, and you have to be nimble.
I love change. I think that otherwise, to do otherwise would be to just get stuck in the past.
We wouldn't have the team if it wasn't for Ron and for John starting this off and sort of instilling those values and what they wanted, right? And I don't even think they tried to do it. I think it just came naturally. And so the team we have now are all individuals that, want to accomplish the same goal as the firm. Everybody has their individual goals, but as a firm, we all have this outlook that how Prowse Chowne can be great, and it's supporting one another. It's just having the same ideals, and just, it's honestly, it's a friendly, nice place to come and spend your time. I think everybody here enjoys coming into the office, right? And it's that camaraderie and that, you know, the challenge of law, but also having the resources and the people that are part of your team that you know are going to support you. So that's what they've built.
It is a team, and it's always been. And I guess I'm living proof that I've been here for 41 years and never left.
I mean, what a tremendous group of people that we have working here. And you know, there is one difference between what we were 30, 40 years ago and what we are today, and that's diverse.
We've grown since then. We've expanded space. Our client base has expanded as well, and we're doing more complex work and acquiring more complex work and solving more complex problems for people.
They have developed a really good reputation and have people with them who have known expertise, which you have to practice law in these days.
We have a really good core of sort of mid-generation partners, younger than me, but that are coming up and will steer the ship well into the future. The associates are bright, motivated, smart, and there's going to be no problem.
So I'm thankful for all of the effort by John and Ron in developing the firm and starting it. They've done a great job, laid a great foundation. They've created opportunities for a number of people that are here now, myself included. I catapulted into a base that has served me well and has served the firm well. We've both benefited from those experiences, but the stability that was generated by these two individuals when they started the firm certainly laid the framework for all the rest of us.
John and Ron, thank you so much. It's been a 41-year ride. I owe just about everything I have to the firm. I owe my job, my career, my wife, everything else. It's been great. Thanks, guys.
John, Ron, I can't thank you both personally enough. I know, John, we never got the opportunity to work together, but you and Ron did set up this amazing firm with amazing people. It's one of the highlights of my life to be a lawyer and to be here. I mean, I couldn't imagine being anywhere else.
To both John and Ron, the foundation of integrity, ethics, and commitment that you set for the firm, that we have tried to honor, has made the firm what it is today. And for that, we thank you.
To Ron, thank you for all of your patience and your willingness to sit behind your desk and give us all those words of wisdom. To John, I owe everything. My wife, my children, and my career. I mean, it's just absolutely wonderful. I am struck by the generosity with which he has graced me, and I will be forever in his debt.
Ron and I we've been together, we've been good friends all the time.
John, you're a good friend of mine. You've supported me throughout my practice, and outside of the firm, we've had great times together. I won't forget our time in expropriations down on the Old Man River. I learned a lot from you, and we were quite successful.